So for those of you who don't know, Zircon is actually a young kid from Florida. I'm actually from Florida also, so Zircon hit me up at Jesse Lane TV on Twitter. A little collab, what do you say, huh? So Zircon made this song, Logan, You Are My Hero. So it spoke about how Logan is Zircon's favorite vlogger. He watches him all the time. And he just like appreciates everything Logan does and he makes him smile. Anyway, super cool story. Logan wound up flying Zircon to LA and doing another music video with him on Logan's channel. And now this kid has like 380,000 plus subscribers on his YouTube channel and he's like blown up, which is awesome. The kid's like got it made for life potentially if he keeps it up. Make money doing social media and YouTube, obviously. So as you can see, I have my capo here on the 5th fret because this song is in the key of C, and I'm gonna play the chords G, C, and D. So by doing that on the 5th fret, I'm technically playing the chords C, F, and G because math, or because science. However you want to look at it, those are the chords I'm playing, right? So the timing of it, that's kind of how I play it, right? So this is kind of an interesting strum, and you don't have to do it this way, make it your own like I always say, but I like to do it like this: down, up, mute, and then up and mute again. So down, up, mute, up, mute. Does that make sense? Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Hello, this is Jesse. Down, up, up. That's the strumming pattern. The chords couldn't be more simple. G to C, and you can play your C. So right from your G chord here, you can actually play a C by just moving your second finger down a string and mute your E string with your thumb. You can either mute it with your thumb or even just mute it with the pad of your second finger just kind of barely resting on there. Or you can play G like this, which would allow you to move to the C chord like this. So does that make sense? So if you want to play, let's go back here. And you actually can put this first finger down here on the 5th string, which is the A string, and then move those two down, which sounds great. It's a full chord. Sometimes I just like to do, I don't know why I keep switching to this camera. I like to do just sometimes this second finger, which deadens automatically your 5th string. And then when you move it down, it'll deaden your 4th string automatically. And just make sure it deadens your 6th string. So I don't know, whatever's easiest for you. Whatever's easiest for you. And then to the D, back to G. Most basic chord progression you could ever ask for. G to C, D to G. And that just repeats literally the whole song. And then like I said, you can play it this way also. G to C to D. The D is the same. You go back to the G. Don't go to the C. G to C to D. The D chord stays the same. And you can end in the G, or you can play it this way. So if you don't have a capo and you're hanging out with friends, you're like, you know that Zircon song? Like, you want to play it? You can use these chords. C to F to G, back to C. Now I'm playing the C chord the same way I'm playing up here. Now the F chord, all you have to do is move these two fingers down one, and you got an F chord. And you just want to play the first 4 strings. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then the G, I play it the same way I just taught you up here. So okay, so those are all the chords that you're gonna need to know to play this song with or without a capo. Now, the fun part, right? So there's this little melody line. You can play this all around the neck. So obviously anywhere these notes are on the guitar neck, you can play them there. It's just the E note, the D note, the A, and then E, D to C. That's it. But it's all about the timing, right? So da ba 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 da 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 da. That's kind of how I'm playing it. So right here on the 12th fret, you're gonna put your 3rd finger, and it's gonna be from the 12th to the 10th fret on the high E string. Just like that. E, D, E, D, E, D, A. and that A is right there above the D on the B string. E, D, E, D, E, D, A. E, D, E, D, E, C. That's kind of how I'm playing it. Or you could do it here. Find that E note, which is on the 9th fret of the G string. Anywhere the E note is, the D note is going to be 2 frets down. So E, D, E, D, E, D, A. It's here also, just 1 string up on the 7th fret. So 9th fret to the 7th fret, 9, 7, 9, 7, 7th fret also on the D string. Then 9, 7, 9, 7. You can go back to the 9 and then drop down to the 5th. Guys, check me out on Instagram at Jesse Lane TV, also Twitter. Zircon, hit me up on Twitter. We can like collab. We both live in Florida. I think that'd be kind of fun. We'll see you guys next time for another guitar lesson with your favorite guitar guy. Also, check out my vlogs. You're gonna love them. They're so sweet. They got inspirational messages. They got Canon G7X Prime footage. I mean, just, you know, it's just like so good, man. We'll see you over there.
To me. Logan, you are my hero. You help inspire me.